Welcome back. Here's our headset video, guys. So sometimes you're gonna ride your bike and you're gonna find that you've got some clunking going on, some sounds. Sometimes it's gonna be actual problems, and other times it's just gonna be bolts and things coming loose, which we'd all like to think doesn't happen very often. But if you don't torque things right, or if your bike shop didn't torque things right, or if you've been riding your bike particularly rough, you might have things come loose. Sometimes headsets do come loose. How you'll feel that is usually you hear some clunking. As when I was coming back in the garage on this bike, I heard some clunking, and I had already quieted down everything I knew about. So then I was bothered by it, and I said, okay, let me figure this out. So first step is figuring out front of the bike, rear of the bike. Headset's always my first question because it's something that gets overlooked. The easiest way to check this, bike shops they'll take the handlebars, turn them sideways, and then just try to tilt them back and forth. You can feel the play in the headset when you do that on this bike. The other way that I've seen it done and that I really like actually is just to compress the front brake and then grab the headset and push the bike back and forth real quick. And you can feel the headset going clunk, 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 clunk. And that's not allowed. So what I'm gonna do is I got a 4mm set of stem bolts here and then a 5mm headset bolt. My 5mm is here, put that in my pocket. I'm gonna grab my 4. Step 1, loosen the stem bolts so that the steerer tube, which comes from the fork, can slide a little bit further in. Because in essence what's going on here is that your fork has gotten a little bit loose. And it's this system here, the stem headset fork system, is not compressed together. So the fork is kind of banging around a little bit and being able to move. And you want that to be tight. And that's why you have this top cap bolt on the top of the bike. So that's the 5mm. It's almost always a 5mm. And we're gonna have to realign the handlebars now because everything's loose. So step 1 is we're gonna get that headset tight. It used to be 5 Nm is where they wanted it. Now it depends on the headset. But what I find is helpful is just, put that front brake on, put 2 fingers on the headset and just rock it back and forth. The headset may turn, so be careful you're not turning the bars, but it should not be rocking back and forth. And then I'll usually just sort of gently tighten that top cap bolt until I've got no more play in the headset. Everything still turns freely because that's the function of the headset. And then we're going to align the bars. Best way to align the bars is to look over the top with your dominant eye only. And then what you want to do is look at the fork on each side. Each side of the fork should sort of touch the horizon of where your bars are at about the same time. And once you've got that, dominant eye only. If you do it with both eyes, it'll be too hard. Then I go to the other side and see if the fork disappears and reappears at the same time on both. Cool. It does. Then I'm going to retighten the stem bolts. I like to do the bottom bolt first. I don't know why. It just feels like the right one. So without letting the bars move at all, I'm going to tighten that bottom stem bolt. Torque wrench, good idea. 5 Nm is usually what the spec is. Stems are cool like that. They'll usually say right there, this is a race face affect stem. And it says right there, 7.5 Nm. That's kind of high for a stem actually. And if you over tighten a stem, you will ruin it and you'll need a new one. And stems are one of those things that look super cheap, but are actually a solid 80 to 100 bucks if you buy them in the shop. So you don't want to just tighten it like it's a lug nut or something like that. You will regret it. Okay, so nice. Now what I've got is, I was impressed with myself for fixing my buddy's brakes, and then I noticed his bike was clunking. There we go. Now I've got no play in the headset. When I do the bounce, I just hear a chain moving and a nice quiet bike. Brakes feel great. I don't hear any rubbing. That's what we're after. So now I can hang this bike up and call Buddy Boy and say, hey man, your bike's done. Come and get it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.